everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy Don Benito, and do I have a juicy one for you? Because today, I don't know. You know what? Let me just let you know what we're going to be talking about. We are going to be talking about Roy Keane's rant about Bruno Fernandes. Like, that was one of the best things I've seen in a while, and I know it's going to create controversy or going to create a split in the fan base. But I will let you guys know what I think about that. And I think some of you are going to disagree with me because I actually sided with Roy Keane on this one. But I will explain why. And then Gary Neville, interesting enough, through this time that we're going through right now, Gary Neville has called out the GlAZZERS and Ineos. I'm like, what? You know, I was sitting there thinking to this. I was just asking myself, is Gary Neville really doing this? Is he going in on them? And then he said it, and I was like, that's my guy, finally. But I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if some of you agree with what Gary Neville said. And then the Garnacho bust up. Garnacho gets substituted because of a tactical change, because we got a red card with Dogu. He storms off. What was that all about? Get your information here on Glory Reds podcast. And last but not least, I'm going to touch up on the Ipswich game. You know, I know we won, but I have a few things that I want to say with regards to the way we were playing. And I actually want to just give a bit of my opinion about what I thought about that game. Yes, we got the 3 points, but there are certain things that we need to discuss as United fans that we just, well, I need to get this off my chest because otherwise it's going to blow my back out. And then the last topic of today is Arsenal. We face Arsenal. How are you guys feeling about that one? Arsenal, no strikerless, you know, not really hitting the forms that they're hitting right now. Arteta under pressure, under scrutiny. Everybody wants Arteta out, or do they? And then Manchester United just getting a win from Ipswich, you know, at home. Are we smelling blood? Let's get down to it. So, Kino, you guys know that Kino is working on a podcast with Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, Ian Wright. I can't forget this lady's name because if I do that, this is going to be a travesty. And I've forgotten it. But you know who I'm talking about in the football podcast, Stick to Football. And I love that podcast because actually, you know, Roy Keane, our ex-captain, for me, is him and Paul Scholes. I think when it comes to criticizing Manchester United, I think they are the guys that actually nail it on the head. When it comes to giving whatever advice or tactical analysis about Manchester United, they are pretty much spot on most of the time. And I like to listen to them. So Roy Keane was sitting there having a good time, you know, until Ian Wright brought up a topic, a very touchy topic, and it made me laugh. I lost my mind looking at that topic. Anyway, Ian Wright says that Bruno Fernandes is the one guy in Manchester United that just brings it, that just does the job, that just wins us stuff. Whenever we need somebody to step up and anything, Bruno Fernandes is the guy. And he went on to give him a very nice serenade. You know, he was singing Bruno, Bruno. I'm kidding, he wasn't. But he was praising Bruno. Much to everybody's surprise, Roy Keane was not having any of it. Kino lost it. He went on a rant saying, listen, I don't give a shit, basically. Like, you guys can miss me with that. If this guy is such a good captain and such an amazing player, why are we still 15? Always moaning and blah, blah. You know, he went in on Bruno Fernandes. And you know what? I think I'm going to agree with Roy Keane on this one. Now, I know it is criminal of me to do that because Bruno Fernandes, in fact, ever since Bruno Fernandes has arrived at Manchester United, I think there's only been Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne who have created more chances or maybe provided more assists than Bruno Fernandes. Chance creation, I don't think there's any player that has created more chances than Bruno Fernandes since he arrived at Manchester United in the Premier League. So, and Bruno's numbers, they speak for themselves. They don't lie. Bruno's numbers don't lie. Unfortunately, his time at Manchester has been plagued with a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of ups and downs. I don't think Bruno has had an opportunity to be in a very solid and how can I put this? How can I put this without sounding like I'm trying to take Bruno's side? But I don't think Bruno has actually been in a stable environment in terms of Manchester United since he has been here. And you can imagine, for the kind of player that he is and the numbers that he has been pulling for Manchester United, it only it makes you wonder if the club was run the right way, if the club was being taken care of, if the people above us really loved how Manchester United, like loved Manchester United and were running and wanted Manchester United to succeed, then I think there would have been some sort of stability or they would have brought in players to help Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes, unfortunately for him, and I'm going to call him out for this, he was my man. Like, Bruno Fernandes is my favorite player. Some of you that have seen this, who have joined us or have been with us since the beginning, you know that if you come to me and talk about Bruno, you better come correct. You better come with facts. You better come with the eye test because I will put you in your place when it came to Bruno Fernandes. But even I, myself, a Bruno Fernandes lover or whatever you want to call me, whatever. After he signed that contract, his new contract, I'm sorry, Bruno has not been the same. The levels have not been the same. Even the way he plays, you know, Bruno would like there were things that he would do on the pitch and would be like, whoa, Bruno. And he used to do that on a very consistent basis. Now things have changed. Now there are so many aspects about this that could have created this situation. Because you remember, there's this pandemic in Manchester United with players coming there and kind of like throwing their life. You know, it's a weird one. You come to Manchester United as a star, you will leave as a moon. I don't know, like you are useless. Like you are like nothing is happening for you. You know, so that's the thing that I never used to understand. So Roy Keane, I think he was spot on when he went in on Bruno. I swear, because he was like, listen, I get that Ian Wright is saying that, listen, every time, especially like the Ipswich game, Bruno Fernandes running, like he wins the ball this half, he sprints the whole pitch only to give a pass that was not, that Mazraoui couldn't meet. And, you know, he was tired, he had to rest, he's putting passion, Bruno Fernandes, magnifico. I get that. But to me, I see that and I'm like, whoa, that's Ipswich, number one. Number two, I'd like to see you do something like that against the Liverpool or Man City, you know, the big boys. I want to see that same fight. I want to see that same drive. I'm not saying that it's not there, but then it has come less when it has been against the big boys. Do you understand what I'm saying? I love Bruno, don't get me wrong. But like I said, ever since he signed his new contract, ever since he got his new deal, his bumper deal, Bruno has never been the same. And he can sit there, like, we can argue, we can talk about this, and I think you guys will agree. Because I don't think I'm the only one that's complaining about Bruno Fernandes' performances. And don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dismiss what Bruno Fernandes is doing right now. I'm not dismissing the assists, the corners, the free kicks, the smart plays, everything that he's doing for the team at the moment. I'm not dismissing it. Don't get me wrong. I love my Magnifico. I love my skipper. But I agree with Roy Keane. Like, yeah, he's the guy that's there, but we're 15. If he is really, truly the captain of all captains, then surely he's supposed to marshal this team into a different direction. I was listening to Bruno Fernandes post-match when he was standing there with Harry Maguire, when he was being interviewed. And I'm sorry, my captain seemed to question the manager. I'm sorry, like I got that, I picked that up. They were asking him the tactics, and he was like, "This is what the manager wants us to do." Even if he said something on those lines, some weird shit. Go back and check. This is not like outside, like in the stadium. No, this is on the pitch. Like after the game, him and Harry Maguire were. Listen to what Bruno Fernandes says. He's our captain. He is supposed to be the guy that is receiving the information from Ruben and passing it down. Now, if Ruben Fernandes cannot, if Ruben Amorim cannot get Bruno Fernandes to understand what he's trying to portray on the pitch, that is a problem. That is a problem. Might not be a big one, but it's a problem. And I know some people might have missed that. It's fine, but that is an issue. Bruno Fernandes seems to be doing what he wants on that pitch. Hollywood passes. One game he's good. Some games you're just asking yourself, what is Bruno doing? For me, ever since, like I said, ever since Bruno Fernandes signed his new contract, he has never been the same for me. I've been picking bones with Bruno Fernandes ever since then. I've not been happy with him. I will smile and I will praise his work ethic, his passion. This guy doesn't get injured. This guy is a beast. This guy is truly a Manchester United player. Unfortunately, he's just, I don't know. And I'm just not vibing with Bruno right now. So I understand exactly what Roy Keane means. Because Roy Keane was the captain of one of the most successful Manchester United sides. Roy Keane was a no bullshitter. Roy Keane was a man of action. You listen to his punditry, you listen to how he talks. And if you get offended by what he says, you have a problem because you don't understand your ex-captain. Roy Keane simply wants people to do their job. Simple. Simple. He pointed out, like, you know, when he said it, it broke my heart and I laughed. I laughed at the way he did it. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, this is right, because we see this all the time. In the midfield, sometimes you see Ugarte is the only pit bull there, just trying to make things, biting, there, fighting, trying to work things out. The rest, they've got this, I've tried. Oh, I tried. And Roy Keane gives it, like he does those impersonations, and I laugh. And he's right. He's right. Yes, Bruno Fernandes bails us out. He does what he does, but it's not enough. He can't be the only player. Now, I know I did say that I was going to talk about Ipswich, but I think this is actually the perfect time for me to drop in Ipswich, So I'm going to move it from where it was scheduled to be, and then I'm going to bring it in. Ipswich game was a tricky one. First of all, there was a lot of poor performances by individual performances. Like Rasmus Hojlund. I spoke about Rasmus Hojlund in the previous episode. Like I said, I feel sorry for him. And the more I watch him, the more I feel sorry for him. And I'm even more scared because Chido is scratching at the surface. Chido Obi is right there at the door. He's already played twice for the senior team. He's already played twice. And in those cameos, he didn't really do too bad. Like, he did good. Rasmus Hojlund looks like he doesn't know what being a striker is anymore. That's how bad. That's how I'm seeing it. That is a problem. Xerxes is looking more and more like a United player every day, and I am just like, wow. But Rasmus Hojlund, the number 9, the reason Manchester United is what it is because of our number 9s, our strikers. Our strikers is blanking game after game after game after game. Blank, blank, blank. I think he scored 2 in 22. Like, the numbers are mad. And I'll leave this to you because I don't know where you guys are. Do we still give Rasmus Hojlund a chance? Or do we, hey, we tried? Because I am there. I am at and the thing is, I don't want anyone to throw that card of like, nah, he's young, he's for the future. Nah. If he's young, right, he's supposed to be exhibiting signs of something to come. So, like, we are supposed to be looking forward to what this guy is bringing. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not looking forward to anything. I'm not seeing Rasmus Hojlund as somebody that's going to be the next Didier Drogba or the next Van Nistelrooy or the next Waza or the next Kun Aguero or the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I don't see it. I see him just being a normal Danish striker. Normal. Nothing special. Nothing like Haaland. We were tipping him to be the next Haaland, him being better because of his goal conversion. You know what? Sometimes we need to calm down and watch football. And I remember those days when I was looking at even the goals. I was excited, don't get me wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I knew all the answers. No, I was excited. I was happy with his goals. But I won't lie to you. I questioned his goals. Because I played striker myself. You know, yes, you get those goals, one chance, what this, but, you know, it's almost like it's a fluke. It's almost like it is not generated by you. And this is where Rasmus Hojlund is. My issue with Rasmus Hojlund is, and am I the only one, am I the first one to sound the alarm about Rasmus Hojlund? Quick question. Because I feel like I was. Rasmus Hojlund has got a very bad habit of falling down. He looks big and strong, but he is paper. And that is the thing that I cannot reconcile myself with. Like, you look strong. You look like you can defend Van Dijk. You look like you can defend Diaz. Like, you can go toe-to-toe with the very best defenders out there. But somehow, you have this knack or this tendency of falling so easy. And I don't get it. And I don't register with it. I don't connect with it. I don't understand it. He drops in too deep to receive the ball, which is not his duty. He drops deep, comes in to try and be like a Harry Kane, kind of like esque. He will come there, try go deep. His ball receiving and control is poor. I'm thinking, why don't you just stick to what you know? Just be a striker. Just be in the box. Always be there, like, no matter what. Don't try and run out. Okay, of course, when you're making those diagonal balls because there's no one here and there, you run for that ball to help support. Understand? That final third is for the striker. I understand that. But you need to maintain your position. This thing of coming in deep to try and help, and then you receive balls, you keep falling. Like, it's not working. It's not working. I am not happy with Rasmus Hojlund, and I personally would move him on. I would personally move on Rasmus Hojlund. He's not it. Let me tell you something. He's young, yes. He looks physically to be the next great thing. Cool, fair. But we bought him too early, and especially he was expensive. It was expensive. For that amount of money that we bought him for, we don't expect somebody to do this. And this is the problem with this our teams and how we deal with stuff. The player doesn't justify their price tag, and then we lose our mind because we start seeing that, what the hell? What were we doing? What were we doing going for this player? What was the thought process through the whole thing? Do you understand? Rasmus Hojlund is not our number 9. Like, if he's gonna, like, if Rasmus Hojlund survives the next 2 seasons, I don't know how. Like, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. And when I say survive, I mean retain that number 9 position. Because we need a proper number 9. I'm talking an Osimhen. I'm talking a Harry Kane. None of this stuff that we're trying to do with Rasmus Hojlund. And I think we've given, you see, like Darwin Núñez at Liverpool. Look, I don't know what Liverpool people are smoking. I don't know if they've started turning on Darwin Núñez. But Rasmus Hojlund will be the Darwin Núñez. I feel like Darwin Núñez is just in the wrong club. I know this is wild. For him not scoring, he's in the wrong club. This guy was supposed to come to Manchester United the time when Erik ten Hag needed him. I'm telling you. Núñez was supposed to be a United player. Now, obviously, he cannot be because he's already been scoused. So he's a scouse. So it makes no sense for us trying. But Núñez, Rasmus Hojlund and Núñez, same WhatsApp group. Except Rasmus Hojlund is worse. Like Rasmus Hojlund is worse. When I see him make decisions, it breaks my heart because I'm like, eh. Then now the gaffer will come out saying that the team is not creating chances. I mean, I've seen a lot of chances be created for Rasmus Hojlund. I'm sorry, I've seen them. It's either he's not there because he's trying to go and look for the ball, or he's late, or his decision making is just childish. That's it. So I thought that I was gonna bring that in because look, in as much as I was happy about the Ipswich game, I was happy about the points and nothing more. I wasn't really happy about the performances. But the performances were, you know what I'm saying? Because Ipswich, those guys gave us some of our decision making. Onana, I'm done with Onana. I'm done. Onana out for me. I want Altay Biende. I'm saying it because this is my opinion. I don't care what you have to think. I'm tired of Onana. I think I've seen that Onana has got so many mistakes in him. Look, there was this crazy thing that I read. David De Gea made 17 errors that led to a goal in 12 years. Onana has made 12 errors leading to a goal in 2 years. Like he's just 5 more errors from breaking, like smashing De Gea's record. Bro, are you listening to that? And we keep on saying, nah, it's Onana. Nah, let's get rid of him. Let's get rid. I'm tired, man. I think we need to sound the alarm. This keeper, there's a goalkeeper. I think it's from Athletic Bilbao or something. Not Bilbao. Is it Bilbao? Espanyol. There is a keeper there that is being touted. Let's go for him. He's young. Let's go for him. Apparently, he's the next big thing. Arsenal are looking into, which is strange because they have Raya. But we need a goalkeeper. Either that, or we put Altay in there and let Altay establish himself as our number 9. As our number 1 and number 9. Because I've seen enough from Altay to know that this guy, he doesn't have enough mistakes. In fact, balls that he's supposed to clear out, he clears out. Balls that he's supposed to catch, he catches. He literally does this keeping thing textbook, and it's beautiful to see. And then when you see Onana, you just want to pull your... You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Gary Neville calls out the Ineos and the GlAZZERS in that same podcast session he had with Kino, Riley, Gareki, and man, how can I forget this lady's name? I'm ashamed because her name is right here, but every time I think about it just keeps going. Jill Scott. Fuck. Oh, yes. Whew. And Jill Scott. So they're there chilling. And Gary Neville, now it's all interpreted to, like, you're open to interpretation. Like how you see it and how you view it, it's up to you. But I got the sense that, well, I'm a little bit torn because I don't know if he said what he said to appease us fans. Did he say what he said to win the fans that have been against him for a minute now because they feel like, nah, Gary Neville doesn't say enough or doesn't contribute enough. He's actually part of the problem. Did he say what he said just to reduce the heat off of him? But he did talk about the GlAZZERS. He talked about the shit show that's there, the mismanagement of funds, how this club has got no money. You know, how the 300 million that was there is just not there. And these guys are literally scraping and trying to rip this club to its bare because there is no money. And I don't know, funny enough, in a very strange way, I needed to hear it from Gary Neville because not that I didn't believe what everybody else said, but it is understood that Gary Neville is part of an organization that works with the GlAZZERS and Ineos, you know, establishing buildings, what, making Manchester United great again. And we, the fans, were thinking that, nah, this guy is not coming out and talking about Ineos because of the paycheck, because of the salary that he'll be getting. You know what I'm saying? Because we're thinking to ourselves, you are an ex-player. The only thing that you keep on doing is stirring up trouble, starting up this thing here, trying to get in on the manager. But then in the issues that matter, issues that could potentially hurt your pocket, you decide to look the other way. So I don't know. Like I said, you guys need to go and watch it. It's called Stick to Football. You see all these guys there chilling. Bah. Gary Neville said something there, and I started to get in a very strange way. I deeped the situation at Manchester United that it's even that bad because his tone and the way he spoke and the way he described things, you know, I really got the sense that our club is really fucked. Like Manchester United is proper fucked. And then when he talked about missing out on Champions League and all of those things, our club is fucked. It is, we are properly screwed. And I don't know. I got this weird feeling in my heart that it's a long road. Like as a Manchester United, I just got this epiphany or whatever. Like, yeah, we will play in competitions and stuff. But the day we start winning major shit, oh man, it's another 10. It's another 10 to life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a minute. You know I made jokes about Arsenal fans. Like I know I said that we're gonna win the Premier League before that. And to some extent I still believe that. But then I'm just, just trying to put things together and trying to manage my expectations of this club. I truly don't believe like in the next the next 10 to life. Like I don't see us winning anything major. And when I say major, I'm talking Prem, Champions League. Because the other stuff we've already tasted, So I don't know, man. I don't know. I am really, really, when it comes to the future of Manchester United, I'm just like, where are we going? What is the plan? Huh? What is the plan? Where are we going? We're still with these Arsenal fans that are busy. Hey, like, Arsenal, Tottenham fans busy. Hey, we'll smack you. Like, since, nah. This is incredible. But Manchester United is where we are. And just to touch on that Ipswich game, like I said, we'll take a win any day, all day, every day, and tomorrow. The players, I don't know why they do this to themselves, because that game, the way I saw it, we were comfortable up until the moments we started losing our mind or started making the mistakes that we were making. I don't know why these players like to put themselves in this situation. I don't know why they put themselves in this Kilimanjaro-esque task, because they need to fight their way out. They need to climb out of the hole that they dig themselves in, or the situation that they put themselves in order for us to win. Like, why do we have to always do that? I really wasn't pleasant or happy or pleased with what Bruno said, because the manager comes to us every week. We listen to him in the press conferences. He's talking about training. He's talking about how he felt like training was good and how training is moving well and how he feels like these players are understanding what he's saying. And then you get game day, and then you players just don't do the stuff. Something happens, or you guys just decide to turn your back on what's going on, and then you have the nerve to come and question all them. Listen, go back. I encourage you to go and listen to that little interview. Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, after the game, full time, on the pitch, they're talking. They're asking Bruno Fernandes question. The part that I want you to pay close attention to is the part that he's talking about AMORIM, telling them to do something, and he says something along the lines like, even though it is difficult, or you can't do it, or we just have to do it because the manager is telling us to do it, even though it's wrong. Somewhere along those lines. Go there, read it for yourself. It's always good for you to get the information for yourself and then interpret it. Not wait for Benito to tell you. But I will tell you that there's just there. You know what I'm saying? There's information there. Now you go there and then you will check it for yourself and be like, so this is how my captain is moving. You see, so at the same time, I don't want to deep it too much because, hey, we had just won the game. You know, I was happy. Not happy with the performances like Dalot. Like, I would like us to terminate Dalot's contract as soon as possible. Now, I know some of you are going to lose your mind. I know, I understand that. But, oh my God, this guy is becoming a liability for Manchester United. Unfortunately for us, Dogu has a red card. And so we are going to be forced to keep on seeing Diogo Dalot. And I'm cool with it because boy's fit. Hey, he's fit. If he was injured, we'd be like, if Dalot was fit, he would have been this. Nah, he's fit. And he still do focal right and left. I don't understand what is going on with Dalot. Because Dalot is actually a decent player. If I'm being honest, I know I've been on Dalot's ass for the longest of time. And I'm one of those people that just feel like he's an average player. I don't see anything special about Dalot. I don't. I think he's very average, very normal. You know, there's nothing like, you know, when I talk about right backs, I'm talking about you know, I'm not gonna try and like even Bradley from Liverpool, that youngster is good because he's a defender and he can move forward. I didn't say Trent, but yeah, Trent. But Trent is not a very good defender, you know. But you know what I'm saying. You know, you've got Fede Valverde playing right back for Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying, doing the business. Obviously, I don't want to. Theo Hernandez, there are all these right backs that are there at the top of my head. But Dalot is just not it. I don't know what he has taken. I don't know what he has eaten. I don't know what he has smoked. Like, there's something that's just off. But he's fit. And I'll give him that. Like, I'm going to praise him for that. Yo, bro, salute for staying fit. Because Mason Mount hasn't got a lick of football this year, this season. Dalot is playing every game. And mind you, we could use Mason Mount right about now. In that midfield, in that attacking, in that position behind the striker. We could use a Mason Mount. I'm sorry, Dalot. Hey, it is what it is, you guys. But I'm not happy. And then the last but not least, Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho. Everybody is pissed off and losing their mind over Alejandro Garnacho. They think that this kid has got a temper. They think this kid thinks he's all that. People just couldn't understand why he stormed off. You know what's crazy? As we were watching the game, I actually didn't see Garnacho storm off. We didn't see it. Like, on this side of Africa, we didn't get the memo. It was only after the game that people were talking and they were like, wait, what? They were like, but wait, huh? Was he pissed? Was he angry that he was substituted, tactically substituted? Because if he's angry because of that, I'm sorry, this kid needs to go. We need to get rid of him. Nah, Garnacho is enough. He's not even special. So let him go. That was the mentality. That's what I was. I'm not saying that that's what I'm saying about Garnacho. Please don't get me wrong. I love Garnacho. Academy boy. I actually want him to succeed. People say he's got a higher ceiling than all of our forwards. I think that is a joke, but I will indulge it. But it's not true. It's not true. The person with the highest ceiling for us amongst our wingers is Ahmad, and before it was Mason Greenwood. But that's a story and topic for another day. Let's moving back to Garnacho. Garnacho is a good kid. You know, he burst into this first team and he did his thing. He worked very hard under Eric Ten Hag. I think he cemented himself. I think he earned his place. My thing is he forgets that he's a young, he forgets that he's a child, and he needs to know his place in Manchester. You know, I like the fact that he went through a period where he was seemingly looking like he's pompous into humbling himself and grinding and working hard. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate his workload and everything. I appreciate the new Garnacho. I'm sorry. I thought that he was going to try and be a very petulant kid. I thought we were going to have a problem on our hands with Garnacho. I swear. And I was scared. And I was actually also hurt because I was like, oh, another good kid that is the potential of being great at Manchester United. But he's got an attitude. And in Manchester United, we like discipline. So if we are off with him, he's just going to go to another club, do his thing, be great, and then, another loss, nah. But it turns out that he was wet and cold and it was raining and he just wanted to go and get a jumper or change his stuff. That's it. Finished and clear. Nothing else, nothing more. There's no scandal, there's nothing. That was it. He spoke to the staff, they allowed him, and he went. Now, us, the fans, making a big deal out of this on social media, losing our shit. I get it, I understand, but none of that happened. It was not intentional. It was not malicious. He was not following on Cristiano Ronaldo's footsteps. He was not following on Marcus Rashford's footsteps. Nah, it was cold. He was substituted. And if you're wet and it's cold and it's raining, you want to be warm. You don't want to pull more muscle. So he went to change. And mystery solved. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito. And, hey, Manchester United is where we are. We are 15th, oh. 15th, oh. And we're not going to get relegated. That's one. But it's scary times. Very scary times. Because, one, if you get players questioning the manager's tactics, that is a big thing for me. I have a thing with authority. If people start questioning that, then there's an issue. And I think there's a big problem there. It looks like we are now depending on individual brilliance. There was that line that came out as well, saying that it's not because of Ruben Amorim's tactics. When we win games, it is because of individual brilliance. End quote. This was one of the leaks. Remember? Forgot? Nah. Anyway, I'm worried about my club. I really am. Like, I don't know. And my thing is, Ineos and the GlAZZERS, we just need to keep on the pressure. We need to keep the pressure on. Because it is not our business that the club has been run to where it is right now. It's not our business. It's not our fault. We are supporters. We are fans. We want our club to be where it is. They can do what they have to do to budget, whatever. But if it doesn't improve, if we don't get players, if that money that they're trying to save and be frugal with is not being poured back into the squad, what the fuck are you doing all this for? Then what kind of manipulation are you trying? Like, what are you trying to do? We don't buy it. There is going to be a protest against Arsenal, the 1958 group. I've got that right. I know in my previous episodes I was saying bullshit. I was saying the 1958 group. These are the people that are leading the charge with the protest. They believe that The GlAZZERS are ruining the club. Ineos are puppets of the club. The club is hemorrhaging money, and this, like, they truly believe that our leadership, our owners are bringing the club down. And they are focusing their protest to those people, the GlAZZERS, Ineos, the people in charge of Manchester United. So please join them. I don't know if they want us Manchester United fans to join in as well, tweet them, and I don't know. But please join in. This fight is bigger than all of us. It is bigger than us. If you are content with what we have right now, like if you're content with the situation in Manchester United and you're content with seeing this for the next 10 years, then sit back. Don't do anything. Sit at home. Go and subscribe Man UFC. Go and buy jerseys. Go to the stadium. Do that. Do that. Do it. If you are somebody that wants to, in the next 10 years, to at least won the Premier League once or twice, then you will join this fight. You will join the 1958 people. Whether it is just tweeting them, whether it is just giving them a shout out, whether it is, listen, we're in that social media era. Can we do it? Let's join in. This is Manchester United. Our club is going down the drain. Are we going to sit there and watch it just go down the drain like that? Is that who we are now? We are watching people just take a piss. You saw the financial, what happened with the financials. These guys took money. We paid interest. I don't want to go into that detail because that's past the day's technical area, the money. But I understand it. I've read all the articles and how everything is going. I just don't know how to explain it. That will be more convincing to you. But yeah, our club is a shit show at the moment, and we need it back. Thank you once again for listening to the Glorious Podcast. It's your boy Don Benito. Peace.